Most businesses think of artificial intelligence the same way they think of standard office software. You buy an off-the-shelf tool, you plug it in, and if anything goes wrong, liability stays firmly with the company that built it. The European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act tears up that assumption. Under this regulation, legal obligations aren't assigned by looking at who wrote the original code. They are distributed entirely based on the specific role your business plays in the supply chain. The law gathers anyone touching AI professionally within the EU market under a single umbrella term, the operator. If your entity falls into this bucket, you have legal duties. Because the rules target roles rather than products, misidentifying where your company sits in the operational chain means you are completely misidentifying your exposure to legal misc. Let's map out the 5 identities defined in Article 3. The chain starts with the provider. This is the entity that develops the AI, or has it developed by a subcontractor, and places it on the market under its own name or trademark. Providing a system for free does not exempt the provider from any of the regulation's heavy requirements. At the opposite end sits the deployer. This is the everyday business that buys the AI and uses it under its own authority and a professional capacity. Between them are the intermediaries. An authorized representative acts as the mandated European point of contact for a provider located outside the Union. Then you have the importer, bringing third-country AI into Europe, and the distributor, who makes the system available on the market. As long as your business strictly maintains its original place in this taxonomy, your legal burdens remain predictable and contained. But what happens when you decide that off-the-shelf tool needs a slight adjustment? Maybe you customize it for your clients, or rebrand it to match your company's aesthetic. This brings us to Article 25. The moment you cross certain lines, your original role as a mere deployer is legally erased. You are instantly reclassified as a provider of a high-risk system. 3 specific actions trigger this reclassification. The first is the label. If you take an existing high-risk system and market it under your organization's own name or trademark, you trigger the trapdoor. The second trigger is the code. Making a substantial modification to the system reclassifies you immediately. The third trigger is the pivot. If you change a system's intended purpose, diverting a low-risk tool into sensitive areas like recruitment or credit scoring, you tip it into high-risk territory. When any of these things happen, the initial provider is legally discharged for that specific system. The total burden of compliance, from risk management to drafting technical documentation, is handed directly to you. A single company can easily end up wearing a double hat. You might act as a low-risk deployer for your internal accounting software, while operating as an accidental provider for a client-facing tool you rebranded. A single operational tweak or marketing decision can silently transfer the full weight of the EU AI Act onto an unsuspecting business. The company that assumed it was taking on the light duties of a software consumer is now legally wearing the heaviest compliance costume the AI Act enforces. The law evaluates the label stitched into the product, not the receipt showing who originally coded it. Before your organization buys, tweaks, or white labels an AI system, you must conduct a strict system-by-system inventory of your operational roles. Under the EU AI Act, your legal identity is never defined by what technology you buy. It is defined entirely by what you do with it.